Well, hello, Canada. Let me begin by congratulating all of you on another great month and on a great year. Canada today is one of the fastest growing countries in the world. The reason is because of the great leadership up there. I've learned after 21 years in this industry that one of the keys to growing any market is leadership. And there's no doubt it's the leadership in Canada that's making the difference. So congratulations to all of you as leaders, and to those of you who are just getting started with our business, or for those of you who are evaluating our business, this is the time to get involved. Let me very briefly share with those of you who don't know my story. My background was as a residential real estate agent. I was very fortunate and very blessed to have been one of the top producing real estate agents in the United States. At age 23, my first full year in real estate, I made more than $250,000. In today's dollars, that would be more than $500,000. I then went on to become the second highest producing real estate agent in the state of Illinois, a top 15 in the United States. But along with that success for me came a very unbalanced life. I'm married, I have 4 children, I've now been married 26 years, and actually now have 3 grandchildren and 1 on the way. But at that time my children were young, and I found that I wasn't able to spend the time with them that I wanted to. I couldn't even go on a date with my wife on a Friday night without my pager going off 10 times, or take a Sunday off and not get out of church and find that I had 3 offers that needed to be presented. I had sellers that I had to follow up with, and so on. And I just got to a point where I was driving down the road one day, and I just said, is this how I want to live my life? And when you stop and think about what you're doing, and you ask yourself, do I want to do what I'm doing the rest of my life? Well, at that point, I was almost 28 years old, and I said, I don't want to do what I'm doing the rest of my life. And so I started to look at my options, and I began by asking myself, what do I value? What's important to me? And obviously my family, the time that I could spend with my family. I wanted to have freedom in my life. I wanted to work hard and be in a vehicle where I could eventually retire early. It's one of the reasons I'm able to live here on one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, Siesta Key Beach, that was just ranked this last year as the #1 beach in the world. And I wanted to enjoy a good quality of life. And so I said the only way that's going to be possible is if I'm in business for myself. And so I started to look at businesses, and I then quickly said, I better determine what would be my criteria in selecting a business. And for me, I wanted to work from my home. I wanted the freedom and flexibility that comes from working from home. I wanted to be able to be a part of my children's life. My wife has decided to homeschool them, and she has during all of their years. And now in hindsight, it's been one of the best decisions I've made. But at the time, I wanted to be more active in my children's life and my wife's life. I wanted the freedom that came from working from home. And so I went out and started to explore businesses with actually a legal-sized pad criteria of what I was looking for in a business. And I was exposed to this industry, the industry of network marketing or direct sales, and at first I had a negative perception of the industry, just being very candid with all of you. And I started to look at the industry, and I said, why is this industry growing, but at the same time have such a negative perception? And the reason the industry is growing is because it is without doubt the best way to move a product or service to an inline consumer. And then I started to say, well, why does the industry have the bad reputation that it does? And really, I learned, and it's been confirmed now after 21 years, really for 2 reasons. Number one is that most people fail. Let's call it what it is. Most people fail. But the truth is, most people fail in every type of sales/entrepreneurial endeavor. In real estate, in the state of Illinois, 1 out of 100 real estate agents that would get a license would renew it a year later. These are people who went to school for 8 weeks. They spent $500. They had the desire for whatever benefits that becoming a real estate agent would offer. But when it got down to it, when it became time for them to pick up the phone and to begin to prospect, they were unwilling to put forth the discipline and effort required to be successful. And I've come to learn over my career that all kinds of people will talk about the things they want. I want a better quality of life. I want to live on the beach. I want to drive a nicer car. But when it comes time to doing what is required of them, they're unwilling to do it. And one of the reasons is because their desire to succeed is not bigger than the greatest obstacles in their path. When I got started in real estate at age 23, I looked like a kid. I didn't have any background in real estate. So what did I do? I implemented discipline. I pushed myself every day to prospect. I strived for excellence, continuing to try to get better at everything I was doing. And as a result of that, at age 23, my first full year in real estate, I made $250,000. And again, I attribute it to one reason. Well, actually, two reasons. One is because I had the discipline to push myself every day to do what I knew I should do, even though the odds were stacked against me. But secondly, I strive for excellence. I pushed myself every day to do what I was doing to the best of my ability. Every phone call I made, I got off and said, how did I do? How could I have done better? Every presentation I gave, I evaluated. How did I do? How could I have done better? Well, it's the same type of thing that I've applied to this industry, and it's made a huge difference. But let's finish the topic of why people have a negative perception. So number one is they fail. And when they fail, all their friends know that they failed. And what they really failed at, in most cases, is they failed to follow through with a commitment that they had made, consistent with whatever desire it is that they may have had in their life. But when it came time to doing what was required of them to be successful, they were just unwilling to do it. We can look at all industries. I mean, 95% of insurance agents that go through that long process of getting a license are not even active as insurance agents after 2 years. So it's true across the board. For whatever reason, in network marketing, it seems to get a worse rap, and I think largely because we're so tied up with everybody's lives, we know what's going on, and we hear about it. But secondly is because the way people approach others. A lot of people are, use no tact in the way that they approach people. And I made the decision, after studying this industry, I said, you know what, this is a great industry. There's no doubt I could live the quality of life I want. There's no doubt I could help the people that I want in this industry. But the key for me was to find the right company and then to handle myself like a professional and to treat people the same way that I'd want to be treated. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly how I've approached my business for 21 years, is I've handled myself with integrity, I've treated people with class and respect, and as a result of that, I've been respected and have obviously enjoyed the success that comes from that. Now, my advice to all of you today, is first of all, get clear on what you want to accomplish. Ask yourself, are my goals greater than the obstacles in my path? And, if your goals aren't greater, then it's unlikely that you're going to achieve them. I mean, Napoleon Hill says desire is the starting point of all achievement. It's more than that. A lot of people have desire. It's the burning desire that's the starting point of all achievement. It's what gets you going. And for those of you who really do have the desire for the benefits that our business can offer, it works. This business is not on trial. My organization has sold over $1 billion, with a B like boy, over $1 billion worth of products over the last 20 years. My organization right now, on an annualized basis, based upon last month's volume, is doing over $100 million a year in sales. I now work about 10 hours a week. I'm no longer prospecting and doing the things that I did early in my career. I'm now enjoying the quality of life that I wanted. The thing that caused me to enjoy the success that I've had was that I wanted to retire early. I wanted to do the things. I wanted to have options. And now I spend a lot of time with my wife. We do mission work. We're putting together a project to feed children, which is a passion of ours, specifically to help orphans, to help free girls from sex slavery. And so for me at this point in my life, I'm able to do what I want. I've got options because of the residual income that this business allows me to enjoy. And you know what? I look back now 21 years later, there is no decision I could have made career-wise that would have allowed me to enjoy the quality of life I now enjoy today, the stress-free environment that I'm now able to enjoy, and the level of residual income. I mean, my business is growing every single month, and yet I have very little to do with that. I'm now just spending my time, as I said, about 10 hours a week coaching my top-level leaders, and that's it. So it is an amazing business. I want to just thank each of you for taking your time here today. Hopefully I've shared some insights with you that will help you. Just know this. Anything that you want to achieve is possible with Unicity. It's going to require hard work. It's going to require discipline. It's going to require that you have a plan. It's going to require that you are disciplined and consistent in the actions that you need to engage in order to enjoy the results that this business can provide. So thanks so much for your time. I wish you the best, and I look forward to seeing all of you as I travel to Canada here coming up this summer and on future times. Thank you.